is cap E hyphen capital S lowercase. What we're really looking at now are the elemental command tones, which you will, each of you individually, will need to make a note of them. The screen is almost legible, but I will read them through for you. If you are part of Norse group, you will be working with Isha Te Tumna, which is cap E hyphen capital S lowercase HAW, all the W is silent, capital T hyphen capital A hyphen capital TUM for tummy hyphen capital N little a. Isha Te Tumna. Is that what? The third letter in? Yep, is an H. Yeah. SHAW. Yeah, W. Capital T, capital A, capital TUM, and finally NA. The South group are big D, little a, hyphen, big T, big A, hyphen, big N for Noddy, big U for USA, hyphen, big R, little a, hyphen, big A. Da Te Nu Ra E. The East group is big A, little h, R, hyphen, big B, little e, little h, B, hyphen, big D, big E, D, hyphen, big T, big E, T, hyphen, little a, little h. Abe di te a. West, big E, hyphen, big D, little a, hyphen, big S, big A, hyphen, big UM, hyphen, big K, little a. Ida se umka. And the center point is always the point that represents the combination of all of them, the ethers, and that command is only relevant to Mac, Ash, and I. Anybody want any help just to nail it? Everybody getting there? Yes. Yep. I said that I would, since I've got a typewritten note, just to concentrate on the elemental command on this particular Mylar, because I got another one that is clearer than this. Okay, shall we go on now? the Merkaba speeds command page? Yes? You're not I'm not convinced. Shall I change the Mylar now? You sure? Yes. Yes. That's what I was waiting for. Now there you are. That should be a lot clearer than my handwriting.
In the outer circle, do they say anything? Those who are doing the outer circle?
They will rotate and use elemental command just like everybody else when it's elemental command time.
Because
Then when the, when
alphabet
yeah, if when you leave your elemental command locations,
in the beginning, we're not in the outer circle. Stage 1.
I was trying to finish this, but you take your command tone with you when you finish stage 1 to wherever you're supposed to be in stage 2, and when it's time to rotate on the spot, you use your elemental command wherever you find yourself. After that, it's the Merkaba speeds, which is what we're translating now. So, is everyone going to copy out all three, even though you're not all going to use all three? Yeah? You might as well, because they will come in handy at a future point.
Or even put the Mylar up.
Pardon?
The Mylar up.
You can't what? You can't read that?
When we're spinning, we won't be able to.
No, that's why you're making a note of it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what this part, this is rehearsal for writing them down. You know?
When we are spinning the appropriate spin, then we, instead of saying the elemental, we say this line.
No. You've been being very bright. But the elemental command, when you finish part 1 and you come into the Ruche configuration, which is called part 2, the very first thing you do when you start off part 2 is you just turn around slowly using your elemental command. You just turn around slowly on the spot. Right? You're not going anywhere big time. When you start to work with the Merkaba spin speeds, you are going somewhere big time. Because then you're working as a big sphere, right?
So for two,
So there are two completely different situations, right? Where the elemental gets used, where you're just rotating on your own feet and not going anywhere like a big sphere would. And then when we get to the 3 stages of the big sphere, we're using this. Okay? Cool.
Rushima Nuot. Rushima Nuot.
Really? What?
Rushima Nuot. Rushima Nuot.
Yeah.
It's different on the from this to that.
N-U-O-T? N-O-U-T. N-U-O-T. Oh, yeah. I think you're right. Unless we look, we don't often remember what's in caps and what isn't. Or even how to spell a word.
If
Yeah.
you say Nuot, it's different from saying Nuot.
Nut,
Nuot.
as in almost nut. Yeah, yeah. Susie just pointed out, which is probably a typo, which is this here, where the U and the O are significant because the sound you'll make is more like nut if you have the U before the O. But take that as being N-U-O-T, not N-O-U-T. I mean, this is the Ruche Manut from the sacred sentence, yes. what,
want us to
what,
put the...
what were you assigned? North, south, east, west, what?
No number. I have no number.
No,
But
neither do I.
they were given you in groups. You're either, here it comes, you're the north group. Here it comes, you're the south group.
That's why I said my name was not on there. In the north
Your name is not on here. Where's your last name?
Gardner.
I'll have to take it out with the management. And it's screwed up the numbers too.
Yeah, I have
Well,
that.
we can, look, you there?
Yeah, that's me.
Right, you're in the outer. And you were also cited as being, because I did say from F to whatever, you're in south,
South.
over there. So you work with elemental command for south,
Right.
right? And when you go to the, you go into the big third sphere, at the beginning of all of it, you use your elemental command on the spot rotation before you do the big rotation. Yeah?
Thank you. Could I see for Macklin?
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Sorry.
Take turns. Another Miss Hila.
Thank you.
There you are. See, same thing. South.
Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Macklin?
Yes.
M-A-C-H.
M-A-C-H.
Yes. There we are.
Same thing. Not paying attention. South group. Another one. I'm going to keep on the south group by the look of it.
Yeah, I think so. We need a lot of trouble on this.
Oh, they're going to need a shot, actually.
Oh, no.
Anyone else got that? The same. You're in west, and you're in the third sphere on the outside, all the way around the edge, right? Yeah.
You didn't hear your name mentioned. You must be South too.
I wonder if we're going to get a full set. What is your last name, darling?
Sas.
Pardon?
My sas.
Maestas.
Yes, yes.
You are west, and you're in the outer sphere, but west. West group. Okay.
And east, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm east and also
You're
the
Trudy?
outer, Yeah.
Yeah. You're east, and you're in the outer.
Outer. Can I also clarify with the Son of Laura? Sometimes we sing verse 1 once and verse 2 twice. Are we singing verse 1 and verse 2 once each?
Yes.
Right, that's okay.
6 times very quickly in the
Yeah,
end.
that's fine. 'Cause not to
Yes.
repeat the second verse.
It just depends on what the beloveds would like us to do on the occasion. I know it's perhaps better to have a kind of a fixed approach, but certain things get changed,
Okay,
you know, on the occasion.
that's fine.
How many times do we do the around by ourselves?
How many times do what?
Do the elemental command just for your own number in the circle?
Oh, until I think you're getting bored. Get fired. At my age, do you know, the government have increased my allowance from next year by $4 a month. I know. I'm going to go down the yard and have fun with the chickens. Now then, here we are. So, just to explain this, the way that this wonderful idea emerged is if you were on the ceiling looking down, you'd be looking at the ruche, and each of the points facing in represent the 3, 6, 9, 12 elements which form the inner sphere. Okay, and the other points, signet points, which are at the ends in the V points, they actually create the outer sphere relative to the middle inner one. You're right, it's the middle one, the middle sphere. And also the helpful little gnomes, we gnomes, have placed the marks on the carpet, which form an almost perfect circle for the third and outside sphere. Okay? So, I mean, really, it's just so easy to do it like this. This room has really facilitated that. So then, from the graph that I was showing at the beginning, for part 1, we're going on to part 1 now. If you notice, I put the dotted circle along the center line in the V. So the middle of the circle for this command position, which is south, right? There's the invisible center, so the circle of the southerners are going to sit as if they were sitting in a cup, like one of those fancy cocktail glasses. You know, the bottom sort of out to the touching the V and going on around. You can't go wrong, really, can you? So would all of the southerly people demonstrate how to make a perfect circle instantly by sitting in the correct position. All the southerly folk. Come on, don't be embarrassed. Yep. And to deflect attention from them doing such a lovely job, don't worry about the numbers, David. You're getting in a lot of trouble. The northern group do the same thing, following the same general principle. And then the east group on this side, again making that lovely little circle using the V, trying to make the nearest thing to a perfect circle you can. Shuffle around a bit. And then the western group, don't sit on the number. Just sit down, but don't sit on the number. Are you guys part of South? You don't know? You don't need a number right now. You need to know you're in the South group. Can you count off, David, and see how many of you are in there? Don't stand out. Just kind of. 115 minus 312 divided by 4. That's 2. You should be 28. Fraz, can you get your group to count off? You should be 28. Martin, when you get people sitting down, can you get them to count off? There should be 28 of you. All right. Can you make like this is for real, and you're actually going to create a perfect circle now? Cisco, when you got people seated, can you get them to count off? And you should be 28. You got a problem, let me know.
Okay.
Now, are you guys lost and alone? Pardon? That's because you didn't realize the way that we did it.
West. I'm in the west.
Okay? So that's south, that's north, this is west.
What do I have to do? I'm rest outer circle.
What is your last name? Which?
Mine.
Where?
Yeah.
West.
I'm
There.
Erwin.
And
What, Ellie?
Erwin, John Erwin.
D-E. Irwin, E-R.
E-R-W-I-N.
There's no Irwin on this list.
Oh, it'll be under. Wait a minute. See if you look at Smith. Wait a minute. Oh, it'll be, the twos are booked. Erwin.
Right. Well, you're in west, and you're also in position 7 when we go to part 2.
No, Mary.
Signet 7.
Mary Smith. Right. The two, because the twos are booked in the same room. Mary Smith
Yeah.
is in the west. My name's Erwin. John.
That's you, right?
No, Smith. Mary Smith and John Erwin. There's 2 people booked.
Well, there's Mary Smith here, look.
Right.
So who are you talking about?
Right. Okay. So I'm in
You're right.
7.
You're in west first, part 1,
Uh-huh.
and then when you finish there, you will go to Signet 7 out on the floor.
Signet 7.
So you remember you're west and you're 7
West.
in the second half. Okay, we ironed out. Are we all 28s? You got somebody lost her. You got 28. The math should work. At least the math should work. Yes. Now, you can do it or you can have someone else do it. But when we go to real thing, this is just practice, right? Whoever's going to be the leader of this group, then there needs to be one, should be on their feet in the middle, checking out the shape and the structure of this piece of geometry that we're working with, okay? I mean, for now, it's more important to be happy that people are happy with where they are and they're in the right place, all right? But when we do it for real, somebody needs to be on their feet, just moving this thing around, so we do have something like a circle. Okay, guys? Peeps? You good with 28?
We just had somebody leave and 2 people come.
Oh, good. Use your story, David.
One more, 29.
25, 26, 27.
29.
Now, peeps, this is, really about making sure that people are comfortable where they should be for this part. Now, when we get to the real thing, and there we are, we should all be mindful of the fact that we're pieces of something quite precious and important, which is called geometry, right? I mean, the fundamental mass configuration, I mean, in a pure circle, is a little more powerful than a circle that's a bit higgledy-piggledy. So I will ask David, when we do this for real, to be on his feet while he's settling down, just saying, please move back a little bit, adjust this, adjust that, and try and get the best human circle, because we spend a week trying to get a perfect human circle, and we won't do it. But we can improve it. And all that we could ever expect of ourselves is to do our best and to get the best out of what we're trying to do. So when it comes to the real thing, I'd like David to just be wandering around, making sure the circle, the integrity of the circle, is as good as we can make it quite quickly. All right, so just cooperate when he asks you to do that, all right?
Will this mark be the center of the circle?
That mark was one that was put down when there was a misunderstanding. You can take it away.
You can take that away, okay.
Yeah. There should be a piece of tape that tracks you through here, though. I think that's too far out. Hang on a minute. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely... leave it. That's right. Okay, guys. Everybody happy now? You got a good...
Yep.
Your count's good?
Good.
Now, I mean, this is really, like I said to the other people, just about getting people happy, knowing where they need to be in the room and all that kind of thing. That's the most important part. Now we've reached that part. We need to have anybody who's remotely, I don't know, I should probably get Celine to do it, actually. But you need the practice about being bossy in a nice way. You know? And then you can teach me how to do it. But when we do this for real, Friday, I want you on your feet in the middle, helping people to create the most perfect human circle that is fair and reasonable, right? Mm-hmm. So the geometry, which is the next important consideration, is halfway as like useful, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you listen to him when he asks you to move around a little bit. Yeah. So you get this lovely circle. And just commenting on where you are, you could usefully ask Noel if he could inch that table back a bit so you'd be comfortable in moving your circle back that way, because your circle is relative to all the other ones, right? And these tapes are showing you where your butt shouldn't be beyond. So right now you sprawl right over the edge because that table's tending to be pushing you this way. So you can make that little adjustment, just another foot on the table, and you guys can go back, and these guys can come up to the tape more comfortably. Alrighty?
There's 29 there, there's 27 there, and 28 here. Oh, no, 26.
There should be 28 everywhere.
I know.
Okay.
We're
All right, David. Posing that on you in the next 5 minutes, because it's like, well, at the moment, I think we're up to about 4 pages worth of detail, and I didn't really think it was reasonable to have you digest all that and incorporate. So you've got basically a day's grace. Noel, there'll be a little bit of a copying run for everybody tomorrow at a sensible hour after, whenever and as soon as possible we can do it. I don't know when in the morning we can manage, but it would be ideal if we get copies to people before the coaches leave, so that they have them, and then everyone can do the practice during tomorrow. It still leaves us Saturday to do practice if we don't manage to get the thing to come together. But this additional breathing technique will be utilized during the stand on Saturday. All right, so we don't have to take a bunch of new breathing detail on board as well as the rest of the stuff we're doing this evening, and it'll be okay. We're not going to lose anything as a result of that. Derek brought up a point that has been made a couple of times before when it comes to doing what we're about to do, and that is appointing a counter for each of the spheres, the inner, the middle, and the outer spheres. So, rather than asking for a volunteer, Pammy B, can you do the inner, please? Pam? Yep. You're just going to do the 12 count, and 24 count. Derek, since you reminded me you have the privilege of doing the count for the middle sphere. You know what they say about he who sticks his neck out, right? Okay, and I know you'll do a good job of that. And Susanna Anderson, would you be kind enough to do the outer sphere count? Is that a yes? Yes, Suzanne, you can do that? You happy with it? Okay, cool. Both hands. Love it. Righty, Bob Ambrose, will you please come and take charge of the witness for the North group? Bob Ambrose, will you please come here momentarily? Yeah, you can leave. You can leave Illustrator at home just for now. Bless. There you are. That's the candle. That's for the North Point, right? And someone will loan you a lighter. Now, Bob, when we finish with this part, the witnesses will be an active part of it for part one. When we've done, and as the groups, this is common for everyone who's looking after a witness. When we've done with part one, if you'll just move the witness to the edge so that when we start to do the big rotations, they don't get under people's feet. They're still a part of what we're doing, so don't, like, shove them under a backpack or under a table, but just put them out of the way of people when they're moving around the outside edge far enough, so not too far away. Okay. Melissa Fassman, will you come and take charge of this here crystal for the South group? Maria Moore, you can come and get some holy water, being a good Catholic girl. And Woodrose Turbin, would you please come along and... oh no, do you have a penknife with you? Can you prise the cap off this horrible jasmine and freesia smell? I mean, if we just lob the top right off of that and let some of that emanate. It's not, no, it's just being unkind to it. Okay. So, they're all done. That's all done. That can go off now. That can go home with me later. Okay, so if the if the witnesses can be set now in the center of the circles. Before you begin, if you could just bear in mind my comments about the quality of the circle and make sure that bums are inside of the V of the tape and that the circle quality is pretty decent. In two places at once. Okay, I think it's appropriate to formally welcome the gathered knights of Aquiferion to the sphere of the Ark stand. And we shall now proceed. We'll begin with 3 deep breaths. Just strengthen, reinforce the Christ our vehicle. Make that 6. We proceed directly to the Crystal River prayer. All together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Diva et
Ture ista entao, rehavea un crystallo.
Now it's time for the use of the elemental command tones. And we'll begin at a fairly slow pace and gradually increase until we feel that the first stages of the CO pillar are coming into position. Frequency in the stand is building to an adequate level. So what we need to do now is to allow each of the elemental command zones proceed in general rhythm with everybody else's, but bearing in mind that the command tones are different, we can't perform these exactly in synchronization. So the general tempo of the entire room needs to move forward and upward at about the approximate rate whilst you perform your specific tones. So it's going to be a case of 1, 2, 3 and go. So 1, 2, 3 go. Really get the volume going now. And the speed. Come on. Kick it up, kick it up, kick it up. And just bring it down very gently. Just begin to slow down. Don't drop it. Just gently slow down. Gently, don't drop it. Don't drop it. That's it. Good job. Just keep bringing it down gently now. Gently. Just keep going gently and quietly. Gently. Good, good, good. Good. Let it move around. Let it wander. Enjoy this. Express your sadness and your joy. Really let yourself get into it now. Just move it around. Really feel it. And just bring that down gently and softly now. Just 3 more rounds. Just slow down and gentle it. Gentle it down. Just one closing breath on that. Thank you. Just inhale, hold. All very gentle at this stage. And a long, slow, deep breath down into Iris. And then just bring it back on the inhale into the Azure. And then relax. If you please now take up your part 2 positions in the Ruche stand. God, this is getting almost embarrassing. The Chris's best.
Oh my God. I think we're both gonna make it. That's better. It's coming alive.
If you just check your new positioning in relation to the signet number you're standing around, form the best well-spaced circle that you can before we continue. The first thing we're going to do is to reuse the elemental command tones. The positions 3, 6, 9, and 12 are going to rotate counterclockwise. The middle spherical position are all acting as if they were males and will rotate clockwise. And the large outer sphere is androgynous, so every individual can rotate in any direction they wish. Okay, so positions 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 11 will rotate clockwise in the masculine direction. 3, 6, and 9 will rotate counterclockwise in the feminine, and the large outer sphere will individually rotate in any direction the person is moved to do. And my suggestion to the outer large sphere is that you will you spend a little time in both the male and female rotations. Don't just concentrate all of your time and attention on one, but you're free to choose whichever you'd most moved to do. Okay, so on 3 then, and we're androgynous, so we can move in any direction we like. Okay. On 3 then, you begin the rotation and just continue to do it. Start from a reasonably measured, that's to say almost slow but not too slow, position and build up the frequencies you did before, but only do that vocally. I mean, in other words, build up the frequency value using the sound and not the speed of rotation of the body. Okay? Don't sweat it. If you find it's difficult to continue to just rotate gently and steadily and not manage to keep your voice and your body, because they'll want to function at the same speed, don't sweat it. Just do what is safe and comfortable. All right, just let it go. If it's not happening for you, don't worry about it. All right, so on 3 then. Elemental command tones that you've just been using. 1, 2, 3. Enter and Shaya. Enter and Shaya. Ita and Shaya. Ita and Shaya. Just slow down gradually, not all in one rush. Just slow down, keep on toning. Slow down gently until you're facing forward. Continue to tone, even while you're standing facing forward. And bring the tone down slowly until your voice and your body are standing peacefully. So we're about to begin the first rotation. The inner, that's including us, the inner circle will rotate clockwise using the 45 speed command. The middle will rotate counterclockwise using the 11 2/3 speed command. And the large sphere on the outside edge will rotate clockwise using the 33 1/3 speed command. Now, remember, it's not impossible by any means, but each of the inner and the middle rings, remember about the way that you spiral into the large sphere as it begins to move around the room. Okay? There is no rush, just take it gently. You know which way you're pointing. So one person in the small circle is going to be pointing towards the direction you're going to move in, and everyone else will line up like a curled snake, ready to follow that leading edge, that leading person, okay? We're going to rotate 12 times. We have a counter. Would the counter, just watch out for it too, would the counter please complete the last circuit, that's the 12th and final one, with at least one arm raised, so everyone else in their large circle can see that they're on their final 12th lap. When you get back to your start position, just return to the position that you're in now. We'll pause briefly. We'll review what we're going to do with the second rotation, who's going to do what, where, and how, and then we'll proceed from that point, okay? So then, essentially what we're going to do now are 12 rotations. Each of the spheres know where they're going and what speed command they're going to give, all right? Then will you please proceed on the count of 3, and do it gracefully, please. 1, 2, 3. And as you move around the room, try and keep the space between bodies more or less reasonably spaced out. So, as we go, Itala Vure-san.
italaboresan, 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 italaboresan,
We got to pump some frequency, so let's raise the volume. Italav. That's much better. Come on, let's get this Merkaba moving. You see if you can speed up the rotation a little bit, like a little brisker rotational walking, as well as bopping and bouncing, and putting some energy in this Merkaba, because it ain't gonna fly unless you put some energy in it. Come on, that's better. It feels a little bit better. Come on now, 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 come on now. That's better, that's better, that's better, that's better, that's better, that's better. Feel it. Come on, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Oh yes. Oh, yes, a little bit more like it. Yeah, a little bit more like it. A little bit more like it. Yeah. Keep chanting, and do that jogging slowly. Good. Ita Lavaresan, Ita Lavaresan, Ita Lavaresan, Ita Lavaresan. Go on, that middle circle needs to keep moving a little faster than it's doing right now. Come on, guys.
elaboration, it's 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 elaboration.
You drop the speed again, guys. Come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
It's elaboration, 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 it's elaboration.
Live sphere, continue using the chant that you're working with. Don't stop until we've all stopped.
It's elaboration, 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 it's elaboration,
Ita liberation.
Ita la bruhesa, 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 ita la bruhesa,
Ita liberation. Ita liberation.
ita la bruhesa, ita la bruhesa.
Ita liberation. Can you just try and pick it up in the middle circle, please? Come on. This is really, the energy is really, really low. Come on, guys. You got to do better than this. Come on, pick it up. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Just soften it now, and slow down gently, slow down gently. Reminds me of some of the Midway 12 Tribes stands that we did, when there was a distinct shift from it being an experience that was easy. And this is more like work, isn't it? This door's every bugger, isn't it? Right, well, let's get it open, okay? Agreed. Right, we'll cut the rotation to 6 in exchange for full-on, feel it, mean it, energy, okay? Instead of 12 or 24, we'll do 6, and we'll do 6 like we really mean it. Agreed? Okay. I don't want to have to remind anybody the significance of what it is we're trying to do and the way that we do it. Now, we're not going to get very far if we pretend to be the Walking Dead. Agreed? Agreed. So then, let's show them what we can do. Are you ready then? The inner circle next we'll rotate counterclockwise using the 11 2/3. The middle circle will rotate clockwise at 33 1/3. And the large outer sphere will rotate counterclockwise at 45. Okay, and it's 6 rounds, please count them, and please bop your way to heaven. Now come on guys, let's go. Are we doing 11 2/3, right? All right, okay. On 3 then, 6 full rounds, let's rock and roll. 1, 2, 3. Ruche. Minutes on time. Ruche minutes on time. Come on, keep it lively, guys. Keep it lively, keep the energy up, even if you're bouncing up and down. Come on. Come on, let's build this pillar now. No second chances. Come on, guys, give it some, give it some, give it some, give it some. Come on, middle circle. Come on, you're not getting there yet. Come on. Come on, middle circle. Come on, look alive. Come on, come on, come on. Move your body somehow. Build some energy. Come on, come on. That's much better, much better. Keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going, keep it going. That's good. Shame. Shame and Okay, bring it down now. Don't drop it. Don't ever drop it. Not ever. Just bring it down. Looks like we're getting the hang of it. We've got one more go to really rock the place, right? Or you could be a knight of Rustiferion. But we're not going to be, right? We're really going to rock it. So it's time now for the middle circle and the outer circle to move as if one. Now, to keep it very simple, all we would like you to do is for the middle circle to step back towards the outer circle. Not necessarily to go between it, because we're having a little trouble with our carriage as it is. So what we'll do is we'll keep the middle circle, but very close to the outer circle. Close enough almost to touch body, but not. So we'll have like a double line of outer circle. Okay, don't go back. Don't middle liners, don't go back all the way into the outer circle. Go close to them far enough so that when we start to rotate, there's a double band of you, okay, moving around the room. Okay? Now this new outer sphere will be rotating counterclockwise using the short command, 45, the inner circle, and the middle will be doing clockwise rotation. We're all using the same chant, right? All chanting the same words. And there's no reason really why we can't get that to rock and roll sort of more or less in synchrony, because if we do, we will successfully get this pillar up and strengthen in the way that we've been invited to do, which I'd really like us to do before we go much further this evening. I moved in the moment that the inner is going to do 12 actually, and the outer is going to do 6 to complete our evening of changes. So this little group here, we're going clockwise, aren't we? Yes, yes, I believe so. And the outer. Now, I really expect us to make some racket, and more than anything else, really build some frequency. When you get to the end of your count, you guys on the outside 6 complete circuits. This inner lot 12. All right. When you come to a standstill, keep on working even though you're standing still. And then when we're ready, we'll finally bring this down to a hush, but real slow, because you know what happens if you drop it quick. What happens to a pillar? And what does a flat pillar do? Not a lot. Okay, on 3 then. Yes. Yeah, I can't bear you guys to do any more than that. No, seriously. No, you're all right, you're fine. And to be serious, there's just a slight adjustment in our instructions, and that's what I'm telling you to do quite seriously. So the double ring on the outer is 6 complete, and the inner combination will do 12. On 3 then, with the 45 command. 1, 2, 3.
Just so you know, there's a bit of strangeness hanging in the air over the hotel. I noticed it when we got back. So if it feels a little odd to you, just know that that's there, and that's usual. It's, you know, Well, let's say the Medtronic side is keeping tabs on us, but it's not causing any harm. So we're moving forward with what we're doing. What you just did with the stand was the first part in the completing what we started today over at the parking lot in view, almost, of Skellig Michael. But what we needed to do first, we you know, with ASON, you've planted the Elemental Command grid stand. Now this will fully activate once we do the second part. The second part of the grid work has to do with you guys first doing the technique. They actually lumped 2 techniques into one. It was supposed to be 2 because they're adding more in on Saturday. I can hardly wait for that because it's a bit rough to get them. We've got a 40-step technique. Yeah, I know. That's what I said too. I've got a splitting headache from bringing it in. But this one is important because it is the one that brings you up to activation of the density 1 level transharmonic Merkaba. And you only need to run it once more, like by yourself. So we've got it so you can, it's printed out. They didn't just give it to me in hieroglyphics. That's why it takes so long to get them in longhand. So you can run it by yourselves once more before we do the level 2. Once the levels 1 and 2 of these transharmonic Merkaba activations are done, they actually stay there with a simple maintenance breath pattern that they're going to give us for Saturday, because you can't use that until after you get the level 2 done. But so tonight, before we can finish what we had started with Skellig Michael, we need to have that level of our Merkaba fields activated in order to do that. So we're going to do it in a Shadra kind of configuration, not standing up and spinning or anything anymore, where we can lay down to do it. But we need to move through the personal activation level first to get that density 1 transharmonic Merkaba activation. And by the end of that, it will stay active with you, but you do need to perk it once more, since we have like more than 24 hours between when we're going to do the second round. But then it's something that you will have, and this is the thing that brings in the encryption of the higher earth. So it's important because it's literally at the end of this technique that particular encryption opens up, and you actually go online past the geomagnetic block here with the Metatronic fields and actually make the merger with the electromagnetic fields of higher earth. So it's a really important technique in that regard. Honestly, I'd rather go to bed too right now. I see a lot of people kind of going, oh God, 40-step technique. Yeah, I agree, right? But to finish the work down here on the grid work level, I mean, we could say, we could do this with ourselves up there, but to finish the grid work here, we need to have that activation level in ourselves. So if you'll bear with me, I'll bear with it too, and we can move through this. And after we do the 40 steps, then we're simply going to go right into the grid work thing, so it doesn't take forever to do this. I've just got a couple Mylars here to point out some points on what's going to happen in this, in this technique. So, it's a little bit easier to understand. You'll also get a copy of it so you can, run it yourself, so you'll be a little bit more familiar with it by the time the second round comes, when we have to have it activated in our field to do level 2. So that was coming. But we will go right into the grid work, and that's not going to take long. It's simply, once we get our fields activated, we're going to generate a really, really big one in the room, and with the help of the whole Buddha set teams, and also with our new Aquafairy friends from the Blue Crystal, we're going to send that over to Skellig Michael. And that will begin the full activation process of the shield that we have there, because we still have our own Buddhas out there, sitting in their little crystal lotuses, so we can bring them back tonight when we're done with this. And then we can call it a night or a morning or whatever. And tomorrow is just a travel day, to get everybody back up there and everything. And then Saturday we've got the kind of like grand finale. I think there's 7 hours of workshop. And I'm still doing graphs, and there's still the other God knows how many step technique that goes with this, that I'm just like, not tonight, please. Right, so I will. Yeah. Yeah, I would put these up first. Yeah, I would like this one first, please. That one, and then that one last. Okay, so just look at a couple of Mylars first that have to do with understanding the steps of the technique. It's funny, the technique isn't that hard. Like, visually, it's not that hard when you imagine it in your mind. It just takes forever to put these things in words, I find. It takes hours just to get them down on paper. Where when we run the live ones, they just give me little cues that are like in hieroglyphics, and then the wave runs, And, you know, they just go, and sometimes they go for a long time, and sometimes they're shorter. But it takes a long time to do them this way, but they're really important, and they need to be, they're something you can use at other times, or like say use with other groups, or, you know, teach other people. And there's reasons why they put certain things in print. Alrighty, so this is just to remind us of let's see, where's the pointer, please? Thank you. This is just to remind us of the you know, where our Miage field levels are, and as the skin on the Miage fields, we have our natural encryption lattice, you know, the spherical encryption lattice, and that is where the false Christ consciousness grid is coming in. It's a D4 etheric grid on this level, but it also goes down to each of the dimensional levels. This is the thing that's going to activate the 55 spin speed, and that will control the Merkabahs, our own Merkabah structure, also the planets, in 2012. So in preparation for that, we are building the immunity to that while we do these techniques. This is the beginning of the Silver Seed healing, and the Aquafarian shield will get it first, and then we'll be able to step it down and out for, you know, for other people to get it, because we still are using words like Carinata seal and stuff that most people have no idea where that is unless they've been working with us. So by the end of the things we're going to do with activating the transharmonic Merkaba field, it will allow for us to, for our encryption lattices on each of the dimensional levels for density 1 to merge with the electromagnetic fields of higher Earth, which means we will begin to pull in the encryption of higher Earth that will progressively pull us out of the Metatronic alignment. And while we're still on planet, while our atoms are still here, you can't just whip atoms through because they tend to disintegrate and go and vaporize. So that is why we can't just bang zoom, change the encryption, pop up over there. We have to nurse our own atomic structure back into where it can fully hold that. So you kind of like, it's almost like when you change, I don't know if you've had animals before, like cats or dogs, that if you're going to change their food, especially when they're babies, if they're used to one thing, you're going to change it to another, you have to put half of one and half of the other so they don't get sick from the change. Well, it's kind of like that with our atomic structure. We have right now a Metatronic planet that we're living on that's activating more and more Metatronics. And if we just try to move fully into a Christic, you know, planet or whatever, our bodies wouldn't hold it, our atomic structure wouldn't hold it. So as we're doing this, this is bringing in the new structure of where we want to go that will progressively allow us to wean ourselves from our atomic selves, from the structures of the Metatronic code that we have been, you know, raised in this lifetime, but also has been here for many lifetimes. That most of us have been here, you know, quite a lot of time. So we have other places and spaces that we have simultaneous selves incarnationally. That is influencing us too. So we're not just healing this in ourselves, it actually reaches forward and backward in time to other portions of ourselves. As our DNA heals and our atomic structure heals, it also moves back through our greater identity structure into our other incarnational selves. So it takes a bit of time. So what is exciting about the technique tonight is when we're finished with it, we will finally have the other encryption. We'll have a second skin, as they called it, because right now we have a skin that hangs on our encryption lattice that holds mathematical programs that should not be there. And we're going to get a second skin that holds the original patterns that should be there. So progressively, the one that's coming in from higher Earth is stronger, and is stronger in frequency. So as the Metatronic one activates in the planetary fields and activates here, the stronger one will tap into that, let it run to a certain degree, and then bring it back around. So it will progressively clear it. It won't clear it all at once. We'll still have it in 2012, and we'll still be clearing the Metatronic stuff as it activates. But without that encryption, the second skin encryption from higher Earth, we wouldn't have the ability to do that. And literally, we would be taken into the Metatronic activations like, you know, everything else on the planet. So this diagram is just to remind you of where those layers are. I haven't gotten into how many, you know, feet out or whatever. You can get a proportional idea in general. It's probably much larger than this, actually. But it gives you an idea of how far, you know, of where the areas are. So we're going to each of these layers will get the re-encryption, genuine crystal lattice coming in from higher Earth when we're done. The part that I had to take time to do a little diagram that we didn't have before. We have this one that I've talked about before that shows Merkabahs. And that's just there to remind you that we had this one, and we talked about the Miage fields, that's where the encryption lattices form on each dimensional level of those. So we have one of these for each dimensional level. When we get into the technique, we're going to be dealing with spins that have to do with first the electrical and then the magnetic, but we're not going to be spinning Merkabas this way. We're actually going to be spinning a field around us this way. One's going to go clockwise and the other's going to go counterclockwise. One is called the stardust stream, and that's an Eron current, and the other is called the starlight stream, which is a prana current. And it's actually the process of blending these two currents, getting them at the right proportions and speeds in circles going around us. So we don't have to worry about what the vortices are doing. It's actually the fields, the radial fields around them that we are working with, and that will bring the Merkabas in to their transharmonic spin. So we don't have to worry about spinning them individually anymore. Next one, please. This is showing this just a little bit differently. I had to throw it together really quickly. But this is the information that's drawn from the technique, where we'll have the electrical prana starlight stream that creates this rotation. The hardest part about this whole thing is getting the rotations right when you're first doing this, especially if you're tired and somewhat dyslexic like I am. This is a bit tricky. And there's also a misspelling in there. I didn't have time to proof it, so the Rushimanu word is spelled wrong, but it means the same thing. So we can fix that before it goes out in general. But we don't have a proofing team here while we're doing things at weird hours. So when we're dealing with this set of things, which will be the first 14 steps, I believe, deals with activating this circulation of energy around us. It starts down here, so it actually starts, I have to do this, all right, we'll get this like a second. It starts down here and goes clockwise up this way, right, and around that way. So I believe it's an inhale up, yep, inhale up to the right, and then exhale down, and it's a circulation, yeah. So we do that one, and then we use there's the particular words that go with that. We'll be using that on the exhale part. So as we go, and then I forget what the word is. I have to read it when I'm doing it. But the Rushimanu, whatever it is, the new ending on it, as you're going downward, you'd be saying that tone, right? And that one has to be done 18 times. Actually, the first one you do, you don't use the toning, but the first one that you use the toning, it's not a practice one, that's considered number 1. So then there's 17 other rotations that have to be done. Fortunately, when we get to the magnetic one, which is this one here, that's only 6 rotations. All right, so because it actually keeps a proportion, a relative proportion between them, like a 3 to 1, I believe, like where you have 3 of those, 3 6s are 18, so it's 3 times more energy being put into that one. Once we get these fields activated, a whole bunch of interesting things take place, and when we're doing this, it has to do with our crystal lotus vehicle again, that, the little, I call it the crystal candle holder, crystal lotus candle holder. That's going to be moving to various places. What that does, that's the 48 code encryption, and first of all, it opens the passages between, in our personal fields, into the passages that the beloveds are opening on the higher earth fields. So it actually is like a frequency runner where you can bring it up and pull frequency and then bring that frequency back down. So we'll be using that, and it ends up in various places. But by the end of the whole thing, after we've done this and this, then we go into where these two come together into the 45 spin, where this is still going clockwise, but 45, and this one is still going counterclockwise, but 45. It creates what's called a zero differential field in between them, and that is where it goes transharmonic, where they still spin, but they're spinning at equal speed, so it actually does this anti-gravity effect inside once you have a 6-dimensional one activated, and once the atoms can hold it. But what we're going to do is we'll get to this point in activation where it's running on the 45 activation. When that occurs, some interesting things happen that we'll see as we go through the technique. And I'm not going to take the time to read through each step and explain it and then go back and do it, or we'll be here until like 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. But by the time we're finished with that, we end up with this disc, and what do they call it? They called it the starflight disc. We had the stardust and the starlight becomes the starflight when they blend, and it literally creates this 64-foot disc that pops out from the azurite, and that stays there. Once this activation takes place, you need to do it one more time, and then, because then we'll do the level 2, but once you do level 2, level 1 stays. With this disc, this is where from the center, the crystal spiral will start bringing the natural Christic energy. The elemental flows from higher earth will start spiraling out. One will be clockwise and one will be counterclockwise. And the counterclockwise crystal spiral is an Adore current coming from the Adore side, where the clockwise expansion one is the Ettore side that we're on. So it will begin the process of activating all of these things. The crystal, our crystal crystal lotus will end up down here, like below our feet, sitting in our Maharic shield, except it expands to be as large as this, which means it expands to be 64 feet around us. They're going to teach us other stuff to do with these. It doesn't mean we can't use the little ones to project with. We can still do those projections with the little versions. But this will literally be an activation that we hold in our field from here forward, and we'll be taught what to do with that next. Eventually, when we get to, there's other levels of activation, even past level 2, but when we get past level 2 Saturday, that will begin the process. They call that the sphere of destiny activation, because at that point there's this sphere of energy that pops around the entire Merkabah structure, and that is what eventually turns into an orb, where you where you end up going in as light and sound pattern into the center of it, and you can move between, through the transharmonic aurora platforms, you can move into other reality fields. So this is what we're building toward. And most importantly, as we build this, we are building immunity to the 55 activation that's coming in 2012. So I just wanted to point out to you a little bit of the configurations, like the large shield that is going to form, and the fact that this lotus is going to be down here, except it's going to be a big one. It's going to be as large as that. There's going to be some interesting things to do with that crystal lotus, but they haven't told me yet. But I just have a feeling there's like a whole bunch of pages as far as dictation, as far as what you can do with that and what it does. But it is the access code for the 48 strand imprint that connects with the dimensional scale up in higher earth, and also median earth and going up to eartha. So this is going to be a major activation. I'm going to sit down to read it, because there's no use of standing there and pointing at things while I'm reading it. Now, let's see. Everybody's kind of sitting now. I'm trying to see if it's better if we sit or lay down, because at some point we should get in a Shadra position. Let's see. Would it be better to get people in a circle Shadra position before? It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. Because we are going to do a Shadra shield at the end of this, which means that they're the lay down shields with everybody laying down with like heads pointed toward the center in a circle. That's how we're going to build the large transharmonic Merkabah field here once we have ours activated. So since we're going to move from the end of this right into the Shadra shield, we should probably get in that kind of alignment now. This isn't as complicated as doing the stands, where you have all sorts of, you have to be here and this has to spin that way. It's just a matter of if people could get in a circle. Can somebody? Are you in a circle? Okay, it doesn't really look like it. Okay, so if you lay down, it just looks very random. It doesn't look circular at all. All right, so if people lay down, all your heads are pointed toward the center, right? Because then we're good to go. Okay. All right, good. Okay. Because for this, you don't really, it doesn't matter actually if you lay down or sit up. You could do either for this activation part. But once we go into building the large Merkabah structure, then we need to be laying down. All right, that's good. That's funny because it didn't look at all like a circle from here. Yeah, it looks more like a circle now. Drink of water, please. Okay. I may switch off with you if you're up to reading anything, because my eyes are killing me from the computer. Okay. So this one's called, this is actually, it should have been technique 3 and 4, but they just lumped it all under technique 3 because there's more stuff coming that they didn't tell me about for Saturday. I think he's going to try that. Yeah, I think we're going to do lights down and sound up, perhaps. Except I need lights up here so I can read. I should leave that on up there in case people get confused on the spins. Yeah, okay. There we go. Oh, feels good. Ouch. Okay. Part 1A. It's called Engaging the Electrical Prana Starlight Circulation. And that's the one that's connected to the upper electrical Merkaba field that spins clockwise. Just do kind of like a cleansing breath and, pop out your Christ-Star vehicle a bit. Excuse me. Okay. As we do these activations, the fields that you're building will actually form inside of your Christ-Star vehicle, and they'll actually expand your Christ-Star vehicle out, so it will get much, much bigger than it usually is. And by the time we have the full Starflight shield activated with the 64 feet out around us, that will, the Christ-Star vehicle will expand proportionately to be that large as well. Okay, so the first thing is to visualize the 48-petal crystal lotus access code, that's what that is, at your third eye on the inside of your forehead. And then inhale, using the inhale breath to draw the crystal lotus gently downward through your Azure and into your carinatus seal. So you're inhaling and moving it downward from your mind down through the Azure into the carinatus seal. Okay, now exhale forcefully upward, using the exhale to push the crystal lotus upward from the carinatus seal to the upper aurora point, far above your head. Now just keep going way up to that point where it disappears. They're referring to that point as the aurora point. There's also one that goes down that they connect into the higher earth fields. Okay, now, all right, now inhale downward from the upper aurora point, using the inhale to draw the crystal lotus and a stream of golden silver sparkle current called the Starlight Prana stream downward into the carinatus seal. Hold at the top of the inhale in the carinatus seal, allowing the starlight stream to turn the carinatus seal a golden silver prana light color. And then exhale firmly downward, using the exhale breath to push the crystal lotus and the golden silver starlight prana stream downward into the transluminal lower aurora point in earth core. So there's a point in earth core. Okay, and just hold at the bottom of the exhale for a moment, allowing the starlight stream to fill the earth core with golden silver prana light. And because there is this this point down there, we don't have to worry about saying higher earth core. It goes right through, okay? Now, okay, just breathe gently for a minute or two, or a minute, just back to your normal breathing rhythm. And in a second, we're going to initiate the clockwise prana starlight stream circulation. So that's the clockwise circulation that comes up from the bottom, up around the right side to the top, and then down, exhaling down to the left. So we're going to do that in a minute. Okay, so take one more breath and hold for a second. Then exhale gently into the earth core and hold at the bottom of the exhale. And now, leaving the crystal lotus in earth's core, inhale, using the inhale breath, to draw the starlight prana stream in and up in a half circle. So you're drawing it up this way. From the bottom, this is just the stream, you're leaving the crystal there. Up, hold at the top for a moment, and then exhaling it down on the left side, down to the bottom again. Okay. And you can breathe normally in between these. You don't have to, hold your breath until you feel like you're going to pass out on them. Okay. Okay. I just did that really quick. We went through 2.5 steps that way. All right. Okay, this one we're going to, when we do this next circular breath, we've got one circular breath going. When we do the next one on the exhale part, when we're coming down from the top, that's when we're going to use the electrical command, which is the Rushimanu San Apeta. Yeah, Rushimanu San Apeta. So that will be, and that's where we start counting for the breaths, and I would appreciate you helping me count breaths because I lose track of those easily. So we're still down here, and we're going to bring the starlight stream, the prana stream, up again, and inhale it up to the top, and then exhale it, and as you're exhaling, say the Rushimanu San Apeta. Rushimanu San Apeta. Right. That counts as breath 1. There's 17 more of those. Okay? So, in, up. Rushimanu San Apeta. 2. Rushimanu San Apeta. Rushimanu San Apeta. You counting? Rushimanu San Apeta. 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 3. Rushimanu San Apeta. Rushimanu San Apeta. And last one. Rushimanu San Apeta. Just breathe normal for a second there. Now inhale for a moment. And then exhale and hold at the bottom of the exhale. With your attention down in earth core. And now we're going to use an inhale breath to draw the crystal lotus up, all the way up to the upper aurora point, way out in space. So, okay. And we're going to leave that there for a moment and just breathe normally. Now try to become aware as you're breathing normally of the sense of that clockwise field, the clockwise prana starlight stream running the field now, because it'll be on autopilot now. And with the encryption coding that's in it, it will be running on the 33 1/3 electrical clockwise spin. Now, we're going to, next is section 1B, engaging magnetic Iran stardust circulation. And this is the one that will activate the bottom Merkaba, but it's actually, we're doing the counterclockwise spin. And the counterclockwise one goes, let me remember, I'm trying to teach myself this too. That one starts at the top and goes counterclockwise to the right first. So you're going, I think it's using an inhale breath actually, yeah. Yeah, so actually using, as you're going, you're bringing it down on the inhale and then pushing it up on the exhale. Unfortunately, there's only 6 of these that we have to do. So I'll read this, and that was a practice one. Okay, so we'll read this now. Okay. Okay, so now we do an inhale breath. And with that inhale breath, bring the crystal lotus gently downward from the upper aurora point and into your carinatus seal. Now exhale forcefully downward, using the exhale breath to push the crystal lotus down into the lower aurora point and earth core. Now we're going to use an inhale breath upward from the lower aurora point. Using the inhale breath to draw the crystal lotus and a stream of indigo silver sparkle current, called the Stardust Iran Stream, upward into the carinatus seal. And hold at the top of the inhale and allow the stardust stream to turn the carinatus seal, a bit of the indigo sparkling silver indigo light. Now we're going to exhale firmly upward, using the exhale breath to push the crystal lotus and the indigo silver stardust Iran stream upward into the upper aurora point. Going to hold at the bottom of the exhale. And now we're going to go into initiating counterclockwise Iran stardust stream circulation. Okay. So now it's like inhale, leaving the crystal lotus in the upper aurora point. Inhale, using the inhale breath to draw the stardust Iran stream in a downward half circle arc, moving downward around the right side of your body. So you're inhaling, going and into the lower aurora point. And hold briefly at the top of the inhale, down at the lower aurora point. Then exhale gently, and using the exhale breath to push the stardust Iran stream in an upward half circle arc, moving it up again toward up the left side toward the upper aurora point. Now we're going to inhale downward again, using the inhale to draw the stardust Iran stream down around the right side and all the way to the aurora point down the bottom. And we'll hold briefly at the top of the inhale in the lower aurora point. And on this exhale, we're going to do the other command, which is Rushimanu Juntaem. And that's the 11 2/3 command. So now as we exhale and use the exhale to push the Iran stream up the left side, we're going to say Rushimanu Juntaem. Yeah. And we need to do 6 more of those, or 5 more of those. That would count as number 1 in a set of 6. Okay, so again, inhale and down the left side. Right side. And then Rushimanu Juntaem. Okay. And inhale and down the right side. Exhale and up the right side. Rushimanu Juntaem. That's 3, right? Okay. And that was 3. Inhale again and down the right side. And then exhale. Rushimanu Juntaem. Up the right side, left side. Okay. Inhale again and down the right side. Exhale again and up the left side. Rushimanu Juntaem. We should have one more, right?
Yep.
Okay, last one. And inhale and down the right side. And then Rushimanu Juntaem. Up the left side. Okay, now we can inhale and hold for a moment. And then exhale and hold at the bottom of the exhale. With your focus on the upper aurora point. Now we're going to inhale forcefully downward and use the inhale breath to draw the crystal lotus down from the upper aurora point. So we're going to inhale forcefully downward and bring the crystal lotus down from the upper aurora point through your central vertical current and into your azure and then into your carinatus seal. So you're putting it back in the carinatus seal. And then you can breathe normally. And you can leave the crystal lotus in your carinatus seal and try to become aware of the counterclockwise magnetic Iran stardust stream that's circulating around your bioenergetic field in a counterclockwise top right, bottom left circulation. And then we will go into 1C, part 1C. This is the density 1, transharmonic Aurora Merkaba star flight activation. Okay, now with this one, is breathe normally from the crystal lotus access code that's in your carinatus seal, while being mildly aware of the clockwise prana starlight stream and counterclockwise Iran stardust stream circulating around you in your bioenergetic field. So just be mildly aware of those two counter-rotating fields that are running in your fields now. As you breathe normally from the crystal lotus in the carinatus seal, speak the combined electrical and magnetic command. Now this is before we go to 45. First you combine them. So you have the Rushimanu San Epeta and then Rushimanu Jan Ta'am. All right? And they would be pronounced on the exhale. So we can just, they're breathing normally, but on our normal exhales, for 3 exhales in a row, we would repeat that. Okay, so we would just inhale. And then on the exhale, Rushimanu San Epeta, Rushimanu Jantaya En. And then inhale again. And then exhale. Rushimanu San Epeta, Rushimanu Janta Em. And one more. Inhale. And Rushimanu San Epeta, Rushimanu Janta Em. Okay, after completing the 3rd repetition of the combined command, we'll inhale deeply into the crystal lotus at the carinatus seal and hold at the top of the inhale. Now we're going to release a 24-point exhale breath out into both the Illyrian chambers and the fire chambers. So release a 24-point exhale breath outward from the crystal lotus at the carinatus. And using the 24-point exhale to send a stream of pastel rainbow metallic light simultaneously into the 12 Illyrian chambers and the 12 fire chambers. So on that exhale, the pale rainbow metallic light is moving out from the lotus and into the field, into your lines. Now, this is an interesting one. They say begin and inhale, exhale, rapid nasal breathing for 12 breaths. And that's like, right, but 12 times. So if we can try to synchronize that. And then we'll hold at the bottom of the 12th exhale when we get done with that. Okay, so that's good. Are you going to count? Okay. Hold at the bottom of the exhale. Now, focusing on the crystal lotus in the carinatus seal, inhale slowly and deeply, using the inhale breath to simultaneously draw in an indigo silver Iran stardust stream from upward from the lower aurora point, and a golden silver prana stream downward from the upper aurora point. So you've got the indigo one coming from below and the gold one coming from above. And we're drawing them together into the crystal lotus at the carinatus seal. Now we're just going to exhale gently while those two currents are meeting in the carinatus seal. And there's a little spark, an aqua spark, that gives off when we exhale, when those two currents touch and combined in the Carinata seal. Now, you're saying just breathe normally for a moment and call to mind your trivecca-shaped, minute little silver seed that we received in the earlier techniques of the last couple days. And in the center of your crystal lotus, imagine it's in the center of your crystal lotus at your Carinata seal. And now we're going to inhale into the crystal lotus and silver seed and visualize your silver seed contracting as you inhale into a single minute point of silver light within the center of your lotus, and hold at the top of that inhale. Now we're going to exhale firmly and notice that the silver seed expands with a snap sound within the crystal lotus, and the silver seed, as the silver seed snaps, the Iran stardust stream and prana stream blend within the crystal lotus, becoming a single pale aqua silver current called the starflight stream. So we're going to exhale firmly, and there'll be a snap feeling or sound, or even if you don't hear it, it's there. Okay, and this is going to begin the process of the pale aqua silver current that is the combination of the two. You can breathe normally for a minute now. The pale aqua current is the stardust current combined with the starlight current, or the prana combined with the Iran stream. Okay, so now we're going to inhale, using the inhale breath to simultaneously draw a portion of this starflight stream upward into the upper point above your head and downward. So you're going to inhale, and at that inhale, you're going to send part of that stream downward and part upward simultaneously. And now as you exhale, we're going to slowly speak the density 1 transharmonic spin tone command, which is the 45, and that is Itala Vure San. Itala Vure San. So Itala Vure San. And now just breathe normally for a moment and observe as the lower and upper pale aqua silver starflight streams simultaneously return to the silver seed at the crystal lotus core in the Carinata seal. We're going to take 2 more inhale-exhale breaths from the silver seed, and on the exhales speaking the 45 command tone. All right, so let's take 1 more inhale. And exhale with Itala Vure San. And 1 more. Itala Vure San. Now we're going to inhale into the silver seed and hold. And now, we're going to exhale in a minute firmly, and as we do, this is where our disc is going to pop out. That 64-foot disc is going to pop out from the azure level. So exhale firmly. And as you exhale, a large horizontal pale aqua glowing circular disc shield snaps to life. That's that snap point. Expanding outward on the horizontal plane from your azure, extending 64 feet around you. Also notice that as you do this, the density 1 starflight shield emerges. Your silver seed and the crystal lotus shift upward from your Carinata seal into your azure. So they've shifted up into your azure as well. You can return to normal breathing now. And as you do, try to observe at your azure area where the starflight shield has come, is emerging out from. Imagine that you can sense that there's 2 small currents of pale silver light that are expanding slowly outward from the silver seed into the disc shield. And they're expanding, they're crystal spirals expanding on the horizontal plane out into the disc shield. One is spiraling out clockwise, and the other from the Adore side counterclockwise. Try to sense the feeling of this double crystal spiral as it emerges outward from your silver seed into your azure and into the shield around you. Okay, now take a final firm inhale breath into the crystal lotus in your azure and hold. And as you exhale firmly, we're going to pop out the crystal lotus and make it the size of the shield. It actually pops out to that expansion. So exhale and firmly exhale. And notice that the crystal lotus is now huge at 64 feet around you now. Okay, you can return to normal breathing again. And as you return to normal breathing, just try to sense the feel of its movement. The shield still stays where it is, and it's actually slowly rotating. And part of it rotates clockwise, and part of it rotates counterclockwise, the underside. But try to sense now that the crystal lotus is actually starting to descend as you just breathe normally. It's starting to just move slowly down, and it's going to move down until it's below your feet, just a little bit below your feet, where it's in your Maharic shield. So it's actually expanded your Maharic shield out to activation level of 64 feet. We'll be raising this. I don't know if we'll be raising the diameter of this in the next activation or in other techniques to come in other workshops. But this is the beginning level activation. This already has a BPR of the 64. That's initiating the 64 BPR, which is stronger than the 55 Metatronic one. And this is why it progressively builds immunity in the biofields. Let's see. Okay. Well, at this point, once the lotus settles down into your Maharic shield, your Density 1 Transharmonic Merkaba is now activated. And the next and final thing is where we finally get to pick up the encryption from the higher earth planes. And just breathe normally. And observe that now that your Transharmonic Merkaba field is activated, observe that within the encryption lattice layers of your bioenergetic field, those layers that you can kind of get a sense of where they are, one of them is quite close here. It's not the D4 one. It's, I think, 1 or 2 in. But I remember seeing the inside of that and like it had gook on it. And I was like, get off, whatever you are. This is the time where we begin to, it's just coming in normally, and it's coming in as a mist. Notice that a fine gossamer, pale silver elemental mist made of minute points of higher earth elemental radiation are gently cascading downward from the aurora point above and also upward from the aurora point below. And they're creating a thin crystalline second skin over the Metatronic net skin that's covering our organic dimensional encryption lattice spheres. Said your encryption lattice has now opened to the encryption lattice of the higher earth planes, which begins the process of silver seed healing within your Density 1 multidimensional anatomy in preparation for the sphere of destiny, Density 2 Transharmonic Merkaba activation, which is what we'll be doing on Saturday. Okay? Now, they've also said, run this technique, like all of the steps of this technique, once more in private before you engage the level 2 activation on Saturday. So sometime when you have a chance, just even if you have to like do regular breathing in between steps, that's okay. It's activated now, and the beloveds are running in the shield, like literally shield wide, they're running the activation. So it will keep up with you, but it will help you to get more familiar with moving the breath and that kind of stuff, because eventually that will become important, not so much in memorizing words and things here, but in where you get used to moving the breath around in specific ways as a maintenance thing, because once we do Density 2 level, we will need a maintenance for the Density 2 level, even though that will kick in, the activation on Density 1 will stay. And now that we've got that far, we can now move directly into finishing the grid work. And this is, the sacred is like a tiny word compared to this stuff that the beloveds are doing at this point, and that we're facilitating because they've asked us to. But this is where we open the first transharmonic doorway. This is the Density 1 level, just like in our fields. Now the beloveds have given us a gift of the beginning of the silver seed healing with this Merkaba, transharmonic Merkaba activation, and now we're going to give that gift back to the earth. We couldn't give it before because we didn't have it in our fields, But now that our Merkabahs are doing that, we will be able to create a large one that, with the assistance of the beloveds who will amplify it, hugely, and we will simply send it over to Skellig Michael and bring it down with the circle of our own Buddha selves that are sitting over there since this afternoon and hanging out, and we will anchor it through. And from that point on, okay, they're saying when we do this, it will, once it gets over there, it will come down, and it will actually, where the half point in the Merkaba is, like where this area here, this will actually be where the water is. So to give you an idea of how far it's going down, this would be where the water line is. So that shield would run in, like literally in the water around the mountain kind of thing. All right. They didn't say how large this one's going to be. The disc on this will be much larger than 64 feet. That's just proportionately, small for our size. And they said that, okay, or they're saying now that that disc on the larger one is going to expand in increments, and it depends on certain other factors in the grids what size it'll be, so they'll probably be able to let us know by the second activation where it's stabilizing, how many miles it's stabilizing at, because this is not a little Merkaba field, this is a huge one. And once it's activated to density 2 level, which we will finish in Dublin, and send it down here. So we will just finish the process by creating a very large field. Now we already have our personal transharmonic Merkabas activated, and these are internal Merkabas, by the way. They're still inside of your Christ Star crystal capsule, so they're not external Merkaba fields in that regard. So you already have your own protection field, because it's not good to do group Merkabas unless you have your own protection field already activated, where yours is already activated now. So now we're just going to, and this is the lay down part with the heads pointing toward the center, if we can, please. We don't have to do any fancy breathing. There might be a couple of points of holding and pushing energy this way or that way with the breath. But for now they're just saying, just breathe gently and relax. Try to feel as if you're sinking into the floor a little bit. Like slow your breathing by about half. Slow the biorhythms. Expand time by slowing the biorhythms. Feel the sense of time opening up and getting more space to it, where it takes longer. There's no rushy pressure feeling. This gets us closer to the alpha brainwave patterns. Okay, and now they're asking us to put our attention on our Azure, because at this point it's in our Azure, at the center of that spinning shield around us, that our silver seed is stationed now. So put your attention on your silver seed and think for a moment of the intention of why we're creating this grid work, why the beloveds are creating it. This is a doorway, finally, between higher earth and lower earth where we are. And that is the band that has been separating us from median earth and the things that are higher than that. This is the first full opening where that higher earth band, like a membrane, is actually being opened, and it's going to be creating a permanent fixture, a 200-year Merkaba field that is a transharmonic passage. It's through this transharmonic passage that it will be able to replicate and send part of itself will actually shift over to the location of the Ark of the Covenant once we activate it to density 2 level, to the location where the Ark is coming. And it will pull the Ark in from Giza, but that's after. What we need to do first is get this large doorway set there. And this will be the density 1 level. It's a huge project we're a part of, and the beloveds would like to thank you for being here to assist the earth in this way and assist the people of the earth in this way. And I would like to thank you too, Asan and I would, and Mac. So as we're relaxing and focusing on our silver seed, we're going to inhale and hold the silver seed and make the intention of a replica quantum of the silver seed. You keep your own, but you're going to send one as a gift to a joint creation, and you're going to send it vertically up through your seventh chakra, out the top of your head, and into the center of the group shield, into the center of the Chandra shield area. It says, okay, and what that has created right now is you have a silver streamer that links every person to their little replica of the silver seed in the center of the circle. Okay, and they're doing this live. They haven't told me what they were going to do yet. Okay, now we've got this interesting spiral of, what is it? It's clockwise. There's a clockwise spiral of the aquafairy coming up, the little blue beans, right? Curvy akashas. These guys, there's a whole fleet of them coming up and spiraling up into the center of the shield, where you left the intention seeds, the little silver seeds. Oh, neat. And they're forming like some kind of water gel matrix around those silver seeds. Oh, neat. And now a crystal lotus is growing out of that water gel matrix with the silver seeds like in the center of the flower, as if they're like the little seeds inside of the flower. Alrighty. Now, they're asking you to envision just a tiny little Merkaba structure, like your own. And again, it'll be just a little replica with the intention encryption. But like your own, with a small version, but with its 64-foot diameter and activated transharmonic density one. Imagine a little one of those and send that up with your silver seed into the center of this lotus flower that's growing out of the center at this point of the shield. So inhale. And on the exhale, push it up through your crown chakra and out to the center. Oh, neat. All right, and now all these little Merkaba fields are kind of spinning in a circle over the top of the crystal flower that grew out of the water gel base that's holding our little silver seeds. And the Merkabas are spinning again, clockwise. They're spinning clockwise. I'm narrating what they're showing me, actually, so when I do that just now, that's what I'm doing. In a minute, they'll ask us to do something. Okay, they're picking up speed. Okay, they're asking us to actually amplify the speed of the rotations that they're on simply by breathing some firm breaths on the exhale firmly out the crown chakra and right toward the center, just to amplify the center spin. Yeah. And now they're asking everybody to hold at the bottom of the next exhale. And just hold there for a moment. And create a moment of silence. There we go. The little Merkaba has just popped. You can breathe now. Again. All right. The little one's just popped into one larger one. It's not huge yet, but it's about the size of a basketball hanging over that lotus structure with the silver seeds in it. Okay, now the aquafairy are going to raise the lotus shield. They're calling it the lotus shield is the center point of the shield, your Chandra shield. They're going to begin raising that up. And as they raise it up, the Merkaba is going to get larger. And they want us to do something here. What is that chant? They want us to use that one. Okay. Okay, as they're raising the shield, they want us to simply breathe, but on the exhales, to do the 45, which is the Itala Voresan. So just like, and just do a bit of repeating this like a mantra for a little bit. So inhale in. Itala Voresan. Itala Voresan. Italavure san, 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 Italavure san. One more. Italavure san. There we go. Okay, right now, and you can try to see this with your inner vision. Some of you may have a sense of it, or some may see it, or hear some sounds associated with it. It's actually rising up past the center ball that's hanging there now and going up through the ceiling. It's going way up. So it's over the hotel now. It's going way up. Oh, this is going to be, they're not going to fly it above, though. It's going to go flying down into the Earth core. They're lifting it up high to get momentum. Oh, I see what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, it's just floating way, way up. It's, you know, past cloud lines and stuff up in space. Not space, but still in Earth's atmosphere, but past where the clouds are. Now they're asking us to inhale and hold for a moment. And as they push it down, we're going to exhale and give it more thrust to go down. And we're actually going to push this big lotus construct with this little Merkaba on top all the way down into Earth's core from here. So, and now... Cool. All right, you can breathe normally now. As we did that, as they brought the lotus down into the core, this huge Merkaba field just went and popped up out of the ground, and it's actually just hanging, but it's not spinning yet. Its fields aren't spinning yet, but it's hanging over the group. It's going to expand. Okay, and they said we're still connected to it. At the center of this huge Merkaba, there's all those little silver intention seeds. There's silver seeds that we set in there, and because of that, when we breathe now, if we just breathe normally, as if we're inflating a balloon, it'll actually increase its speed and make it larger because we're still connected. Then we'll bring our seeds back once we get it over where it goes. Okay. Now in a minute, the Aquafairy are going to begin moving this. And how they're going to move it is they're going to be moving the lotus construction that's down in Earth core. They're going to move that end of it. And some of them are going to actually trail this, and they've created like an orbital field, just a circular field shield going around it. So they're going to fly it over. And they would like us to simply think of ourselves as a gentle pushing, nudging force behind. So if we... How do they want us to do this? I know what they want us to do. They're showing me in pictures, right? Okay, how do we do that? Wait a minute. Okay. All right. They want us to make a bilocate of ourselves, literally the physical size of ourselves, and inhale, and on the exhale, push the bilocate of ourselves up to where it's about halfway between the ceiling and the floor where you're laying, and it's still laying down self. So it's laying in the same position you're in. And oh, neat. Okay, and that forms like it's a lighter matter version of the shield that you're actually forming there. And right in the center point, it's as if the center point is a little ring that gently holds the bottom of the big Merkaba. So we can fly the Merkaba over there with shields. That's called flying the shield. So we're just going to try to remember the feeling of being over near Skellig Michael and remember the photographs that we've seen of it. We're just going to breathe gently, but try to imagine ourselves now in this shield that's suspended in the air. Right now it's just in the air up above where we are, directly above where we're laying. But in a moment it's going to begin moving towards Skellig Michael. And we'll start the movement simply with the breath. they're asking us to do simply 12 charged breaths, and they'll fly it from there. So just inhale, and on the exhale, push, right? It's like a push breath to give it charge, thrust toward moving. Okay, so. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 12. There we go. Just return to normal breathing. Okay. It's moving a little bit slowly now. They're saying just relax now for a minute or two, because it's moving slow now, but it'll pick up momentum and it'll actually go partially transdimensional. So it'll go fast, but they're accelerating its speed from there. When they get it over to, hovering above Skellig Michael, they're going to ask us to breathe it down again. To what we can do now while we're waiting for the large Merkaba to arrive over there is try to recall our Buddha selves, our little Buddha selves sitting in the little lotus, crystal lotuses that we left in a circle over at Skellig Michael. Try to feel out yourself there and get yourself back into that position where you can feel and try to see what's around there through the eyes of your Buddha self, or sense the breeze against your skin or something, so to make that more physical connection between your body here and your body there as your Buddha self. Okay, oh, this is neat. I've got my Buddha self over there, and I can actually see the big thing, the big Merkaba, flowing in over the horizon from this direction, like it's coming toward us because we're sitting on the mountain. Oh, that's neat. All right. It's funny, it's kind of moving like those big blimp type things. You know how they're kind of slow? Right? They're not like airplanes where they're going zoom. They're kind of like little. It's moving. It's coming close now. Okay. Oh, it just jumped. It just did a hyper jump, and it's literally right over the Skellig Michael site now. And it's right over like over our heads of our Buddhas there. And they're going to, the Aquafairy are asking us to now just simply breathe it down to where its shield level would be at the water level. So we're bringing it down through the mountain, and they'll let us know when the shield crests the water level, because that's where they'll stop it. So to help them bring it down, they want us to inhale and hold, and then kind of pull downward energetically with, as if we're reaching up to that shield up above us and pulling it down with every exhale. So just a couple of those type of breaths. So inhale up. Grab hold of the Merkaba shield and exhale down. Yeah, one more ought to do it. Okay, it's in place. It's going to do something. Just waiting to see now what. There's going to be a pop thing happen, because its full shield hasn't popped yet. Okay. I'm talking to them like, okay, I'm watching. What? Oh, just start making some really neat noises, actually. If you get any strange sound effects in your head, it's probably coming from there. It's almost like the sound of wheels, like ancient wheels metal wheels starting to turn again. That kind of sound. Okay, there it goes. The shield popped. All right, good. Okay, and now that the shield is popped, we can, and the Merkaba is in place, inside of it will become a transharmonic passage, so we can pass through there all the time. The same will happen with the Ark of the Covenant. So for now, we're going to just call our Buddhas back, and kind of like inhale them back into our bodies here. Just bring them home for the night. and that the large Merkaba, transharmonic Merkaba, over at Scaling Michael will continue to accelerate through the night, and by the time we come back to do the density 2 level grid work, that is when it will split, it will accelerate to the point where it has enough quantum that it will actually make a double of itself and send the double over to the old Atlantean Ark of the Covenant site to begin the pulling. But that stuff will happen with the second activation in Saturday night. So for tonight, we have managed to still be relatively awake, and we have, for the first time, our transharmonic density 1 Merkaba fields activated. Next will be the density 2 level, which means we will have the 6 dimensions of an orb effect. It'll be a 5th dimensional consciousness, but there's 6 dimensions because of the density space in between. So this is the beginning of the sphere of destiny, our orb, and our getting our ability to biologically orb back again. And also the beginning of our immunity to the Metatronic 55 activation in 2012. So thank you, troops, for being here and hanging out with us for the wacky hours. And excellent job with this stand, everybody. And we will, well, today is a travel day, back up to Dublin, and we will see you for 12:30 on Saturday for the marathon workshop. And hopefully you'll get some sleep today, either on the buses or when you get back, so you don't have to worry about getting any place except like back to Dublin and to sleep. So it'll be an easy day. So thank you very much for your patience and with the timings, and I hope you've enjoyed that activation. Try to do this one more time before we do. We won't be doing this activation until the later part of the Saturday workshop. So you could even do it earlier Saturday morning or something if you wanted it to. It doesn't have to be today, Friday. But it would be good to do that one more time, the whole thing, before.
Do you want me to give them a look at that copy?
Do what?
Do you want to give them all that copy so he has a copy?
I have a copy, a master for him. It's not this one. It doesn't have staples in it. Excuse me. Okay.
Well, just that he's there and wait.
Oh, okay. We can give him this. We just have to take the staple out. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, when you get a copy of these, which I think we're going to try to have them for you for tomorrow, sometime.
We'll run them as soon as we can.
Okay, Noel's going to run them off as soon as he can, so we'll get these to you as soon as we can, so you have them. But there are a few typos and stuff, just ignore them. We haven't had time to proof, so at least you will have them there to work with. And again, thank you. I hope you have a good night's sleep and morning sleep. See you on Saturday. Thank you.